Okay, good morning. Once again, we will start with our unit, lecture number 8, unit number 3, lecture number 8. So, last lecture, we saw some rules of root locus, correct? And those rules are not much clear unless and until we solve the problem. So we will start with the simple problem first, and in the next lecture we will solve one difficult problem. So what problem is saying, I will write down the problem. One transfer function is given, g of s, h of s is equal to k upon one second, k upon s into s plus 1, s plus 2. What problem is given? Draw a root locus plot for a system with open loop transfer function. This is open loop transfer function. Then what we have to do? We have to find out the root locus. We will go by stepwise. Rule number 1. So it will convert step number 1. So first rule is to locate the number of poles, zeros, and branches of a locus. We denote poles by n and we denote zeros by m. This is the equation. From this equation, how to find out poles? Poles is nothing but what? What is mean by pole? Roots of denominator. So what are the roots of denominator? What are the roots of denominator? Characteristic equation is s into s plus 1, s plus 2. This is the denominator. We have to equate it to 0. So what will be the answer? What are the roots?
0, -1 and -2.
Okay. So how many roots are there? 3.
3.
Okay. Means the number of poles are 3. Okay. Then let's move for the number of zeros. How many zeros will be there in the denominator? Sorry, in the numerator. In the numerator, roots of numerator. Numerator is k. There is no existence of s in the numerator. So in this problem, the number of zeros are 0. So we have 3 poles and 0 zeros. The location of poles, as you told me already, the s is equal to 0, s is equal to -1, and s is equal to -2. These are the 3 poles, and m is equal to 0. So we don't have the location of 0. This is the location of poles. Locations of poles. As zeros are not there in the problem, we can't draw the zeros. This is the first step. From this, what do you say? How many branches will be there? That is rule 2.
3.
Step 2. We have to find out number of branches. Number of branches and their starting and end point. Their starting and end. So how many branches will be there as per your knowledge? Branches will be equal to what rule says? If P is greater than 0, P is greater than, that is, I will use the notation, N is greater than M, number of branches equal to N. So here N is equal to 3. So branches are equal to 3. Okay. So all the branches will start from where? 3 branches. All 3 branches will start from, branches will start from where? Always remember.
Poles.
Huh?
Poles.
Always remember, yes. Branches are starting from poles. 3 branches will start from 3 poles. Where they will end?
Zeros.
But here are not 0 present. Not a single 0 present.
Infinity.
Then,
Infinity.
okay. Then they will end to k is equal to infinity. Means we have concluded that 3 branches are there. All 3 branches will start with all 3 poles and they will end to infinity. This is our conclusion from rule number 3. Then next rule. Rule number 3. What rule 3 says? We have to first plot the diagram. In the diagram, we have to locate the poles and 0. Actually, we have to use graph paper for exact correct locations. -1, -2. Okay. Then, where is the location of pole? 3 poles are there. S is equal to 0, S is equal to -1, S is equal to -2. Means here is the first pole, here is the next pole, here is the third. In the third rule, this is j omega axis, this is sigma axis, real axis. In this rule number 3, we have to find out the direction of the branches. As we said, 3 branches will start from the 3 poles. Now I want to find out where those branches will move. For that, I have given one simple trick yesterday. What we have decided? Let's start from, let's say, I will give the names to the poles. This is P1, this is P2, and this is P3, let's say. Later we can change the names if we want. For this rule, we will use like that. What we have to do? Here I will take 1 point, here I will take 1 point. Let's say this is x1, this is x2. How we are finding out the direction? What we have to do?
Odd number of zeros or poles.
Yes, check out that rule. What we have to do? We have to stand up on this position x1. Let's say we are here. Look towards the right side. How many poles and zeros are there?
2.
2 is odd or even?
Even.
It is even. Sorry, actually it was get disconnected. I will present once again. Now is it audible? आवाज येतोय? स्क्रीन शेअर केलेली आहे, दिसते आहे काय? Screen is also visible.
Yes, sir, visible.
What I said, we are applying to the point P1. If we apply to point P1, what is the, how many poles on right side?
2 poles.
No, if we are on X2, if we are on X2, here in this position,
3.
3
Poles
poles.
on right side.
what will be our conclusion? The branch which is starting from P1 will move in the direction of X2.
X2.
That will be our conclusion. Means one branch which is going to the infinity will move in the direction of X2. Same thing we have to do for other. So this is the one branch that we assume that we concluded that it is moving in this direction. Then we will apply the same thing for others. I will remove this. Let's say X, this is again X1, this is X2 for the point P2. So what will be the direction? We are standing at point X1 here.
One
We are looking towards the right side. There is only one pole. Here is only one pole. But if we apply the same thing here, if we are standing over here and look towards here, then there are 2 poles. Means the branch which is starting from point P2 will move towards the P3.
X1.
Okay, means towards the X1 direction. Towards the X1 direction. So I will draw that. Like this, somewhere here in this direction. Okay, then same we can apply for the P3. Let's say here is X1, here is X2. If we stand here, look towards on the right side, there are 0 poles. But here, if you look here, then there is 1. Means the branch which is starting from point P3
X2.
will move in the direction of X2. It should be clear. Okay, then I will draw that also. So what will be our conclusion? That there will be a breakaway point. These 2 branches are coming and meeting to each other. Okay, that we have concluded over here. This is the rule number 3, which shows us the direction. Okay, then in the next rule, what is the next rule? We have to find out the asymptotes. Asymptotes are nothing but the lines which are moving along with the curve. So what is mean by asymptotes? That we saw last time only. Just we will apply the rule. Rule number 4. What rule number 4 tells? It is once again I will write down that rule. Number of asymptotes. Number of asymptotes is equal to number of poles. In our case, how many poles are there? 3 poles are there. So there will be number for asymptotes are 3. Asymptotes in our problem will be 3. So how to draw that we will understand. Then where is the centroid of that asymptote? Centroid is nothing but point on the real axis. It is called as a centroid. the centroid of asymptote is equal to, we saw last time the problem, the formula, summation of real part of pole minus summation of real part of 0. Instead of P and Z, I will use our notation that we started. Summation of real part of poles minus summation of real part of zeros divided by n minus m. Then later we will find the angle. Before that, we will apply to find out the centroid. Here, summation of n is equal to what? How many poles are there? Poles are located at 0, -1 and -2. What will be the sum of this? This sum will be minus,
-3.
and summation of m will
Zero.
be 0 because there are no poles, yes, zeros. So centroid, it is denoted by sigma A, centroid of asymptote, which is equal to sigma A, will come -3 minus 0 divided by n minus m, n is 3, okay, minus 0, which is equal to minus.
-1.
So what we found that in our graph, at -1, there will be asymptote, centroid of that asymptote. Means 3 asymptotes will be there. These 3 number of asymptotes will be there. And those 3 numbers of asymptotes will start from -1. This we have found. Then how they are moving, that we have to find. 3 asymptotes will start from point -1, and then what will be the angle, at what angle they will move. For that also we have seen one formula. Remember this formula. It is called as a angle of asymptote. Angle of asymptotes. It is denoted by theta A, which is in degree, which is equal to 2q, we are using q, plus 1, sorry, into 180 degree divided by n minus m. Now what is that q? Q means what? Q is
P
nothing
minus
but 0, 1, 2 up to n minus m minus 1. So in our case, what will be the value of q? That we will find. Q is equal to 0, and for that n minus m minus 1, what will be n minus m minus 1? 3 minus 0 minus 1, which is equal to 2. Means q is equal to 0, 1 and 2. Okay, understand this step carefully. If number of poles and number of zeros are denoted by n and m, then n minus m minus 1 will be q. Put the value of q in this formula. We will get 3 values because 3 branches means 3 asymptotes are there. So we will get 3 angles. Now you have to do the calculation. Theta for 0 means here what we have to do, 2 into 0 plus 1 into 180 degree divided by 3. किती येते आन्सर सांगा. It is for q is equal to 0. Same way for q is equal to 1, for q is equal to 2. Theta 1, theta 2. So tell me the answers of these what are the answers? 2 multiplied by 1 plus 1 upon 3 multiplied by 180. Then 2 multiplied by 2 plus 1 into 180 divided by 3. 3 angles will be there. What will be the answer? Here it will be 0 plus 1 means 1. 180 divided by 3, it is 60. Definitely. Then next,
60, 180 and 300.
yes, 60, 180 degree and 300.
300.
So these are the 3 asymptotes that we found. And these asymptotes we have to draw on our graph. So how to draw? These are what I said, these will start from centroid 1. So one angle we got 60 degree, correct? That 60 degree we have to draw by let's say dotted with exact 60 degree. By measuring, by using protractor, we have to draw a 60 degree line. So this is first asymptote number 1. This is asymptote number 1. Then what is the next angle? 180 degree. 180 degree angle will be where? It is along with this line. Okay. It is along with this line. This is second asymptote. And 300, we are measuring always in this direction. This is 180. And 300 is nothing but what? 360 minus 60 means minus 60 here. This will be 300. And this is our third asymptote. Is it clear? Is it visible? 3 asymptotes which are starting from -1, which we found by using formula, this formula, and we found 3 angles. Is it clear? 3 angles, how we got? Yes or no? Is it clear? Is there any doubt regarding this? Is there any doubt?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Let's move further. Rule number 6. What rule number 6 says? We have to find out breakaway point. Here, you know that 2 branches are coming together. Here, somewhere, branches are meeting together and they will leave the axis. They will leave the real axis. And that breakaway point we have to find. For that, we have to use the formula. Let's see what is the transfer function which we have. G of s, h of s is equal to k upon s into s plus 1, s plus 2. Then what is the characteristic equation? Characteristic equation of this we have to find out. Characteristic equation is nothing but 1 plus g of s h of s. How it come, that you know already. Okay, and that characteristic equation we have to equate it to 0. So what we will get after equating, and before that I will write the equation 1 plus k upon s into s plus 1 s plus 2, and it will be equal to 0. By making cross multiplication, what you will get, s into s plus 1, s plus 2 plus k is equal to 0. Is it clear? What we have done, just made the cross multiplication, and denominator is like same this it is, s plus 1, s plus 2, and it will get cancelled with 0. So what I will get the equation, s into s plus 1, s plus 2 plus k is equal to 0. I can rewrite the equation because we want to find out what is k. So minus k is equal to s into s plus 1, s plus 2. Then making the simplification by cross bracket multiplication, what we will get, s into s square plus 3s plus 2. Again making the multiplication, what I will get, s cube plus 3s square plus 2s, that is minus k. What I want to know, I want to make the finding of dk. Hope it is visible. So what I want to say, yes, Ninad. We want to find out dk by ds. Okay, and we have to equate it to 0. So by taking the derivative, what we will get, by taking the derivative and equating to 0. When we take the derivative, what we will get, 3s
3x
square
square plus
plus
6s plus 2.
6s, which is equal to 0. Minus sign will not have any effect of that because we are equating to 0. Okay. Then the roots of this equation, will indicate the breakaway point. So we know that method to find out the roots of quadratic equation. These roots are S1 and S2. S1 and S2. So the formula you know already, that is minus b, like that. Minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Correct, no? S1 and 2. This is the formula. So here, what will be the b? This is a, this is b, and this is c. So what you will get, answer, which is equal to what? Which is equal to minus 6 plus minus under root b square means 6 square, it is 36, minus 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2, whole divided by 2 into 3. So just calculate it. I will also calculate on my calculator. Just try to find out the answer. There will be two answers, S1 and S2. What are the answers? So one answer I got, minus 1.57. Anybody is trying? And another answer is coming,
minus 0.42.
minus 42. Perfect. Now we got two answers. What we are finding? We are finding the breakaway point. Means breakaway point is nothing but point which is denoting us from where these two branches will leave the real axis. Now what answers we got? two answers. One answer is minus 1.57 and another answer is minus 0.42. So out of that, which is valid one? Is it possible that minus 1.57 is the breakaway point? On the graph, if you observe, minus 1.57 will come somewhere here.
Not possible.
After minus 1. Okay. Is it possible that breakaway point is present here?
No.
Possible, no? Means this is invalid point. So what you have to write there, as the breakaway point is always in this problem lying between minus 1 to 0, in between minus 1 to 0. And minus 1.57 is not possible. So it is invalid and it is valid. That is 0.42 is the breakaway point. So you have to select this as a breakaway point. On the graph, you have to draw that breakaway point. Then we have to do next step. In the next step, what we have to do, we have to find out angle of departure and angle of arrival. And that thing is only applicable when roots are present in the imaginary axis. Is there any pole available in the imaginary axis or in the imaginary plane? कुठला तरी पोल आहे का आपला जो इमॅजिनरी प्लेन मध्ये आहे? असा पोल आहे कुठला? आपले सगळे पोल जे मिळालेले आहेत ते तिन्ही पोल कसे आहेत? रियल पोल्स आहेत. These all three poles are real poles. So the rule number 7 we will not apply for today's example. Tomorrow we will see that. Then we have to find out the important point, that is intersection of locus with imaginary axis. What will happen now here in this problem? Here let's say 0.42 is there. From this 0.42, branches will leave the real axis and they will cut somewhere to this imaginary axis. So where those points will cut the imaginary axis, that intersection point we have to find out. That is finding intersecting point. Point with imaginary axis. So for that we have to apply the Raoult's criteria. What Raoult's criteria says? Raoult's criteria, this will be last step for our this problem. What Raoult's criteria says, we have to write first characteristic equation, that is 1 plus g of s h of s is equal to 0. We have already found that equation in above step. That equation is s cube plus 3s square plus 2s. That is s square plus s cube plus s 3s square plus 2s plus k is equal to 0. This is characteristic equation. We will write the Raoult's array. Tell me the numbers. That is, first is s cube. S cube will have, I will write fast, 1 and
2.
Then s square will have 3 and k. Perfect. Then s raised to 1. S raised to 1 will multiplication of these. S raised to 1. Tell me the answer. S raised to 1. It is multiplication of this with multiplication of this divided by 3. So answer will be 3 multiplied by 2 means 6 minus k divided by 3. here it will come 0. Then s raised to 0, this multiplied by this multiplied by this, divided by k, 6 minus k upon 3. Always remember it is coming k. Always it is coming k. Okay. Then we have to find out the range of k. K should be greater than 0. And 6 minus k upon 3 should be greater than 0. Means 6 means k should be less than, sorry, 6. I will write again, 6 minus k should be greater than 0. So k should be less than 6. So the limit will be 0 less than k less than 6. Now remember, up to this step, you know what we did previously also. Now we have to put the value of k in this above array where the first number will become 0. The maximum value of k is what? K max.
6.
K max is equal to 6. Now if I put the value of k is equal to 6, where here I will put k is equal to 6. The value of this element will be equal to 0. Okay, means this s raised to 1 first column will become 0. आता त्याच्या वरचा कॉलम सिलेक्ट करायचा, रो सिलेक्ट करायची. ह्याच्या वरची रो काय आहे? 3 and k. So what will be the coefficient of 3? What will be the coefficient of 3? We are on the s square. So here this will be s square and this will be s raised to 0. Means we have to write one equation later down, that is 3s square plus ks raised to 0 is equal to 0. He step नीट लक्षात घ्या. Means we will get 3s square plus k is equal to 0. Then what will be the value of k? We have k is equal to 6. Let's put here 3s square plus 6 is equal to 0. Means s square plus 2 is equal to 0. Means s square is equal to minus 2. Means s is equal to under root 2 j plus minus. Okay. Because we are taking the root. What will be the root of 2? I will just write first j root 2. Root 2 चा value काय आहे? Root 2 is nothing but 1.414. It will be plus minus j. So this is the value SJ12. Means what? When Sj is positive 1.414, that is 1, and J2 is equal to minus 1.14, that is 414. These are the 2 points of interaction on the imaginary axis. Means on this graph, here, let's say here only, here is positive 1.414 and it is j, and it is minus 1.414 j. These are the 2 points where that breakaway point will cut the imaginary axis. And here we have finished our problem. One step is remaining, but that step is not applicable to find the open loop gain k. That step is not applicable for this problem. We will apply that in next problem. So finally, how it will look like, okay, that we will see. So how it will look like? So this is real axis. This is imaginary axis. Here is 0. Let's say here is my, I will take little bit away. I will just take it little bit away. Here is -1. Here is -2. Then what we have to do? First, we are marking the poles. Here is first, here is second, here is third. Then what we know that at -1 there is asymptote which is making 60 degree. This is making 300. One is moving here. Actually, this is next step that I have done before. Then we are drawing the direction. One branch will go here. One branch will start from here. Here, let's say there is a breakaway point. These two branches will meet here and they will leave the real axis and they will move parallel to that asymptote and they will move parallel to asymptote, and here actual point I have to take 1.14 that 1.414 positive, here 1.414 negative j, and they will move to infinity. You have to show they will move to infinity. Here is the 60 degree angle, here is the 180 degree angle, and here is the 300 degree angle of asymptote. Then these are here is the centroid. Centroid is sigma a. That is the centroid. Like that, they will move for k to infinity, k to infinity. Here also k to infinity. Like this, we are drawing the final root locus of this problem. Now from this, we have to make the stability analysis. Means what? We have to write some statements. Means maximum value of k is 6. If k is more than 6, system will become unstable. Then value of s, that is j omega, that is 1.414. That value you have to write. Then other values you have to write. That will be the stability analysis of this. With this, we are completing this problem. You have to draw this type of root locus curves. I think again, due to interruptions, you might have some difficulties in understanding. In the next lecture, we will see one more big problem where we will have all the things available. Means roots are available in the imaginary axis also. That problem we will solve in the next lecture. Okay. Meanwhile, I have uploaded the remaining lectures. Means it is in the process. Till afternoon, you will see all the lectures except today's lecture on the Moodle. Okay, you will get the notes also regarding all these rules what I have given. I will put one PDF of these rules so that it will be understood. Whatever problem we have solved, that problem also I will put on the Moodle. But for today's, it will take up to tomorrow. But up to yesterday, whatever lectures are there, all will be available on the Moodle before 3 p.m. Okay. If suppose there is any doubt, you can ask. We can conclude the meeting if there is no any doubt. I will take attendance. Just second. Don't leave the meeting. I have to check whether attendance is taken or not. Just second. Wait for a minute. Otherwise, you will lose the attendance. Just check. I want to check whether attendance is correct or not. Just a minute. It is being recorded. 1 second. I am saving. Okay. We can conclude the meeting. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day. Take care.